Up next, we've requested some rave stories and experiences you've had from our Instagram, aracles.sounds. Everybody add up now. We've roped in Jonah today to help us read some of these. Not all of them, because some of them are a little bit too graphic for our show.
Yeah, we've not included them ones, don't worry.
But Jonah, go ahead.
Jonah, I want the best narration voice you've got, please.
Alright, I'll give it a go. So this first story here, we've got it from Amy. She's messaged in, and I'll just read it as it says, yeah. So I'll give you one from Bagley's, London in the 90s. So I assume that's a place. Halloween. Bagley's was a massive film studio, there we go, with 5 huge rooms. As you walked into the first one, it was all neoned up with coffins scattered throughout it. And in the coffins, there were people who would occasionally sit up and throw live maggots at people. As the night went on, the floor got slippery with them and a mate slipped over, nasty. In the main room at some point in the night, a load of naked bodies painted green. People started descending from the ceiling with ropes and doing a weird dance mid-air. That room was renowned for having groups of muscly gay blokes in the middle, all with their shirts off. As I was bopping, slipping really, I was really young, 18 and small, and everyone was really sweaty. Through the crowd to get to the other side, I bumped one of the guys. I looked at him in the eye and recognised him as my kickboxing tutor. We nodded, shook hands, and never mentioned it again. The only DJ I remember was Lisa Lashes. Cheers, Amy. That was a nice story, you know. Your kickboxing teacher absolutely scarred you there.
Yeah, the maggots part was the bit that threw me.
That's horrifying.
It's just scary that people pay for that.
That was a madness stuff.
See the maggots.
Yeah.
That's an interesting experience. Millie, have you got another one?
Yeah, I've got quite a long one, so bear with me here. So this story was sent in by Sam. Sam, if you're listening, thank you. So basically what Sam has said is, I live in Dublin, Ireland, and the rave scene here is different to that described by most of you guys. I've never seen gloving before or raved on rollerblades or anything like that. I do love a good sesh though, as do we all. So one interesting thing about Irish nightlife is due to some strange old law, all clubs and bars have to close by 3 a.m. There are no after hours clubs, even in Dublin. This has given rise to some awesome rave culture with illegal after-hours parties popping up all over the city, spread by word of mouth. They can be really hit and miss. Sometimes they get shut down, sometimes the sound system breaks. But one time, Huxley and Ben Pearce were playing an event in my town, which ended at 3, and we found out that the afters were being held in the north of the city under some train tracks. We get a taxi to the area and find ourselves wandering around a quiet old housing estate with a few other wide-eyed people. We're wondering where we're supposed to be going when suddenly a hatch opened up in the wall to our left, and we were hushed and ushered in by a large Eastern European bouncer type into an industrial yard. There was a vault door with a red lantern hanging over it, which we entered to find ourselves in an old vault under the tracks. I'm finding this quite hard to imagine. Under some train tracks through a vault, it's quite a trek. Anyway, carrying on. Huxley was playing and everyone was absolutely out of it. It was amazing and scary at the same time. The mix of people was so varied. There were some of the roughest people I'd ever seen, mixed in with college students, older seasoned ravers, and well-to-do posh types. At 7 or 8 a.m, it ended. We left in groups of 3 or 4. Somehow, we ended up going to Ben Pearce's hotel suite for a few hours, where people were partying. Eventually started to feel bad and walked home to my bed. Great night, would do it again. It's quite mad that they ended up at Ben Pearce's hotel suite. That's quite a story.
That is a whole story.
That's like 21st century version of Alice in Wonderland or something. Like going to the cellar, you know.
Yeah, the trek there was quite mad, to be fair. I was impressed with the effort he went to just to get to that one.
I will respect the commitment to go there. That does sound like a long, a long time to get in. Well, I've got one. Mine's a little bit short, and it's from Ollie. So thank you, Ollie, for sending it in. One time, I was at a show, and a friend of a friend told me they just dislocated his shoulder dancing. He asked me to set it back into place and walk me through how to do it even. I popped it back in, and we had a great rest of the night. I never forgot how mortified I was. Well, that, yeah, I know, because I've had to do that with my friend, that putting it back in is just disgusting. It's not pleasant. Jonah, have you ever dislocated your shoulder?
No, it just makes me cringe so much. You know, you see like videos of just like stuff going wrong with like that. Oh, nah. Cringe.
Well, those were the rave stories. Up next, we've got We Got It by Metric.